A cross-section of clerics and religious leaders have called for a return to a robust reading culture that enriches the society. The clergymen condemned the ill usage of social media as they noted the importance of books in shaping the nation. Here is more on this report.
At a book festival in Abuja on Saturday, clerics and academics decried a declining reading culture in the country and how it could affect nation building. Reverend Father George Ehusani, while speaking to journalists, spoke about the need for social media to be used for educational purposes as well as for entertainment.
The reading culture, as everybody has said, is really pathetic. We have not handled very well the entrance of the social media into our society. Social media is a wonderful thing, but a lot of our people today are using only the entertainment angle. Every means of communication is supposed to be for information, for education, and for entertainment. But if 90% of our use of social media is only for entertainment, then we're not being educated. And you can never replace books. Books are so important. You don't grow a human being without reading. Because when you read a book, you have entered into the world of the writer. If the writer has read 100 books and you just read one of his books, you have benefited from part of the 100 books that he has read.
Also speaking to journalists, the Archbishop Emeritus of the Archdiocese of Abuja, John Onayekan, called for a revamp of societal values.
If anybody thinks that Father George Ehusani is too blunt in his statements, they should know that it is the bluntness of God's message. We hear this also in the speeches of the prophets of old. Even in Jesus himself, he's very blunt. Remember, once in a while he tackles the leaders of the time and say, "Woe unto you, hypocrites!" So Jesus doesn't mince words in these matters, and I think George has done very well in that regard. We are people listening, that's another matter.
The Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Reverend Matthew Koka, stated that religion and governance could be related.
People have had the assumption that priests ought to be praying and doing, and I think that for us as church, we must come back, because if you look at the pyramid of the Catholic Church, and you see when you ask the average Catholic, the Holy Father is up there, then the cardinals, then the archbishops, then we ordinary bishops, then the monsignors, then the priests, and so on and so forth. But the question still remains that whereas in the doctrine, in the code, in the canon code of the Catholic Church, I cannot register for a political party, I cannot stand for election, and so on and so forth. But my concern about the existential realities around me are not taken away by the fact that I cannot engage the process.
Economist and policy expert Pat Utomi also weighed in on the call for a robust reading culture.
The legend says readers are leaders. You don't get into that other world to discover the possibilities if you don't go through the door called the book. And this is of course, the books come in different forms in today's world, electronic and all that. But the book remains the gateway to an expanded mindset. And young people need to recognize that this is the path forward. My whole life has been defined by the book and what the book has done to transform my life.
With young pupils and students also speaking of the importance of a reading culture, hope seems to be blossoming for education and enlightenment within the country.